Tonight, Aggie baseball travels to Waco to take on the Baylor Bears. Very odd to be traveling in the midweek for anything A&M. This game totally benefits Baylor softball. Just, I don't know, very odd game. But they do. If you're new to the Louie Bellina Show, hi, hello, and welcome. But if you're new to the Louie Bellina Show, I hate Baylor with an unending, never-ending, undying passion. Just so you'll know. So in my world, big game tonight. Huge game. Can't lose. Must not lose. Baylor softball, A&M softball have a story that goes way, way back. This is one of those must-wins. So Aggie softball. By the way, if you're not making the trip to Waco tonight, and seriously, who goes to Waco? Why would you go to Waco? If you're making the trip to Waco, not making the trip to Waco, rather, you can listen to Aggie softball 6:15 pregame, 6:30 first pitch. You can listen on Willie 1550 AM and online at radioaggieland.com. 6:15 pregame, 6:30 first pitch, A&M Baylor, Aggie softball tonight on Willie 1550 AM, and you can listen at radioaggieland.com. So Trisha Ford to listen in, and that's at 12:15. And then, I look forward to this every month. Alan Ward of Brigadoon Brewery will join us 12:35 on the D4 Land Services Hotline, and it's our monthly beer recommendations. Alan joins me a couple of times a month. We talk beer, craft beer, the making, tasting, business of. It's fun. But one of those couple of times, he has his monthly beer recommendations, anywhere from 4 to 6 beers, and it's not always go try this. Sometimes it's you probably shouldn't try this. It's a lot of fun. So Alan Ward, Brigadoon Brewery, his monthly beer recommendations about 12:35. There you go. That's the Louie Bellina Show Wednesday edition. At any time, if you have a question, comment, or opinion for me, or Chip, or Alan, or any guest of the Louie Bellina Show, any day of the Louie Bellina Show, you can text 979-693-1150. 979-693-1150. We start Maroon and White Universe, and we're all just living in it. 10-2, Aggie baseball destroys Houston. Storyline number 1, home run derby. 3 home runs. Jordian Wilson, yard, gone. That was his 7th of the year. Nico Partida, yard, his 11th of the year. Gavin Grahovic, see you, gone, his 10th of the year. Grahovic 2 for 4, 3 RBIs. Partida 3 for 4, 3 RBIs. Jordian Wilson 2 for 4, 4 RBIs. Heart of the order really getting it done. Jake Dewar 2 for 5. Already told you Partida 3 for 4 and Jordian Wilson 2 for 4. Storyline number 2, great bullpen night. Starter was Cole Hubert. He did not record an out. 3 hits, 2 runs. Did not record an out. Now, Houston only scored 2 runs. Starter Cole Hubert gave up all 2 runs. That means that the A&M bullpen went 9-0. Yeah. Phenomenal pitching performance by the bullpen last night. Juan Vargas, first man out, goes 2-0. Grant Cunningham goes 3-0. So, storyline number 1, home run derby in the heart of the order. Storyline number 2, phenomenal bullpen night. 9 scoreless innings of relief in the midweek. Vargas, Cunningham, Billings, Bond, Vincent, and Ethan Darden through the 9th. Aggies win 10-2, and that's what they should do. They're now a top 10 team, right? You're facing a down Houston team. You beat them, and you beat them with your elite offense putting up 10-3 homers, and something, okay, I'm just going to speak for myself. I want to see continued improvement in the pitching. They've made, I will call it, baby steps. They're still not selling me the pitching is up to Omaha. The pitching is up to super regional level even yet. I just see baby steps. I'm seeing signs. Well, great bullpen night. You saw everything I think you could want to see out of a midweek game. I think it was a great win, to be honest with you. Up next, Aggie baseball will be back in action. SEC play, duh. And you know how it is when the game is on the schedule, okay, what's next, etc. And I know that's a real deep way of putting it. Or you can't wait. There's a different way to how this goes, right? When it comes, you're there, or you can't wait. Aggie baseball, after the Texas series, has turned into I can't wait, I want the next game. And weekend in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, an LSU team that seems to have figured some things out. They were kind of like a preseason top 10, if I'm not mistaken, top 15. Rough start for them. And seems to have figured some things out. Not sure what exact level. Are they top 10, top 20, top 25? I know they're a top 25 team entering this series. You go play baseball at Baton Rouge. I don't care if they're ranked or unranked. It's going to be a tough series. You'll hear all three games right here on the Zone, 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. I've been Aggie baseball, Baton Rouge. And it's one of the most hostile college baseball environments in the country. I'll also say it's one of the most fun. It is like a psycho circus. It's one of the most unreal kind of environments I've ever been in. And I loved every second of it, by the way. Moving on, I already mentioned Aggie softball. Aggie softball has Baylor in the midweek, and then they're going to be hosting Mississippi State. This Mississippi State series, by the way, for Aggie softball fascinates me. I am not going to lie to you. It absolutely fascinates me. And, Coach Ford will listen in 12:15, and she has a lot to say. It's a big listen in. But the Mississippi State team, for me, they have one of the best pitching staffs in the SEC. It is elite level. The A&M offense is the second best. They're one of the top three. Man, there's so much offense in the SEC this year because you got Bama. You've got Oklahoma's one. Bama's probably two. A&M's offense is in the S tier of offense in an S tier hitting SEC, right? But Mississippi State, they're like 6-9. They're a top 14 RPI team, even though they have a losing conference record, because their pitching is so good. But they can't score. They can't hit themselves at all. Like, it is impossible for their offense to be so inept. But it is. But it is. Great, fascinating, odd series at Davis Diamond. These are the kind of games you should go see. Mississippi State's like 14 in the country with a losing record in conference play. But their pitching is elite. So fascinating week for Aggie softball. If you want to get in on some of that, I recommend you do. Maroon and White Notebook. CBSSports.com has been grading the portal basketball. I need to say which sport, shouldn't I? CBSSports.com has been grading the college basketball portal additions. And, A&M got the top leading scorer returning in the country in PJ Haggerty, the Kansas State kid. It got the highest grade. They're not giving out A pluses, okay? There's A minuses. Matter of fact, of all the additions so far, there's been a total of 1, 2, 3, 4. There's just 4 A's. There's no A pluses. And Haggerty for A&M is one of the 4 A's. And A is the highest grade they're giving out. So I just keep bringing up other people's perspective, not Lou's or not just the Bryan College Station perspective. Every scouting report, national. Haggerty is one of the greatest fits of any player added to any school in the portal. He is totally a buckyball guard. And not just because he scores a lot of points, but his style, his tempo, and his skill set. And then CBSSports.com. and the number of additions, and again, the biggest moves, there's about 15 to 20 so far. There's about 25 even. Only been 4 A's total, and Haggerty gets one of them. CBSSports.com has Haggerty as the number 5 player in the portal. And Haggerty's been 4, 5, and 7, depending on what you look at. It's the same zip code of awesomeness, just period. Now, don't want to rain on nobody's parade, but Texas, the Longhorns, they've added 2 players on the impact side of the portal. And they got David Punch from TCU, the number 7 player in the portal. And they got Isaiah Johnson from Colorado, who's the number 12 player in the portal. So Texas finished way behind A&M in the league standings, went deeper in the NCAA tournament. A&M's got number 4 or 5 player in the portal, perfect fit. Texas has 2 guys who are in the top 12 in the transfer portal. So the A&M Texas, the rivalry in the SEC, screw the Iron Bowl, and it's shaping up to be renewed and building that way. And it could be in all sports with Schloss at Texas and A&M Texas in football. And could we be building something here in basketball? But I did notice that Texas in the portal has added 2. And by the way, the Punch edition gets an A, and the Isaiah Johnson is an A-. And again, 7 and 12 in the portal themselves. So the Longhorns not sleeping in basketball after the success they had. Since we're in the college hoops universe, today, Gary Parrish, who is the CBS college basketball, he's one of the ones I look at. I mean, of course, John Rothstein, right? And he did his 25+1, which is college basketball updated because of the portal, right? College basketball way, man, it's way too early, top 25, because of the portal action, right? Only 5 SEC teams are in the top 25. Only 5 total. And Florida at 2, Arkansas at 6. Then the Longhorns pop up at 14 in the country, and it's because they got 2 of the top 12 players in the portal rankings already. Bama at 20 and Vanderbilt at 22. So, updated 25-1, and 5 SEC teams. 2 in the top 6, 5 in the top 22. Longhorns at 14. I personally, and I don't know where you're at with this, find myself excited to see who's next portal acquisition for Bucky. I've seen 6, 7 names that they're looking at, but as I learned a long time ago, following the recruiting trails, if you just report every name they're looking at, you'd end up reporting like 100 names. Doesn't quite work out that way. So we'll grab our first time out of the day. Chip Howard Sports Talk next. 12:35, the Aggie Baseball Listen-In. 12:15, A&M Softball head coach Tricia Ford Listen-In. And 12:35, our monthly beer recommendations with Alan Ward of Brigadoon Brewery. It's all just beginning. It's the Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric, Wednesday on the Zone.
Visit the Pod Center at zone1150.com and find every hour of every day of your favorite shows. Download or subscribe.
The Louie Bellina Show on a Tuesday, that was yesterday, Thursday, on a Wednesday, presented by CC Electric, built on faith, family, and community. And on Wednesdays, right about 11:20, and it's actually 11:20, look at that. I'm joined inside the Charles Schwab studio by Sports Talk legend. And not just because it's the name of his show, but he's the reason we have Sports Talk Radio on Bryan College Station way back in 1952. Chip joined, I had to talk.
It was the late 50s, Lou.
So I said early. I'm off by a year too.
Yeah.
Chip visited with Bryan Broadcasting and said, hey, I got an idea. I'd like to do a Monday through Friday sports talk show. And Ben said, what sports? And then Ben, Chip talked to Ben like 8 hours later. Ben said, I don't understand a word you said, but if you pay me money, I'll let you. And Chip said, I got $10. And Ben said, that's money.
Yeah.
And the rest is history. That's how Chip Howard Sports Talk was born, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah,
but,
no, that's pretty much it.
So that's how Chip Howard Sports Talk started off. It used to be 4 to 6 p.m.
5 to 7.
Same thing.
Started out at 5 to 7. In fact, I got an old Insight magazine from June of 1999 with a little ad because I used to write stuff for them. I think we traded that out.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It had my picture on there, 5 to 7, WTAW 1150.
Well, for those that don't know, there used to not be 1150, 1620.
Correct.
There used to be 1150 WTAW.
Yes.
And Chip was the sports talk show from 5 to 7.
Yes.
Bruce Williams, I think, was on right before Chip Howard, okay?
I don't remember that.
I think it was Bruce Williams.
If you say so.
And then we had Hannity, and Chip was the sport. And then after Chip was Jim Rome on tape delay, because it was dark out sports, light out politics.
Yeah.
Is how it used to work. And then we had that split in 2001.
Yeah.
And that's when 1620 came about, and it was that was news and politics, and then 1150 stayed all sports. But Chip, Monday through Friday, the first sports talk show in Bryan College Station.
And I remember you coming and saying, hey, why are you doing 5 to 7? Do you want to do 4 to 6? And I really hadn't thought about it because all of the big markets are, that's drive time. Well, here we don't
have a drive.
Well, back then there certainly wasn't one, and now there's about a 15-minute drive time, from 5 to 5:15, and it was really nice getting home.
An hour earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went up to Chip.
Great idea, Lou.
I went up to Chip one day and
I'm glad you did that.
I go, you realize by the time you get off, people are going to sleep
yeah,
already.
exactly.
It's not even driving home.
I just started to say that's getting really close to my bedtime now. So it's like, glad it's 4 to 6. I'm barely awake then.
So anyway, that's some of the history of Chip Howard and Chip Howard Sports Talk on Bryan Broadcasting back in the WTW Into the Zone days. Chip!
Yeah.
Last night you went to something that was crazy, cool, awesome,
involving
Aggie legend Lyle Lovett.
It was really cool. Lyle is a visiting fellow. In other words, he's doing a lot of stuff with students right now, right through the humanities and liberal arts, and I'll get the name right here in a minute. But he is going to classes. He's had some of these different kind of events. He did a couple of things last week with movies that he was in with some of his directors, and I didn't get to go to that. It's called a Hagler Residency with the College of Performance, Visualization, and Fine Arts. And
that's awesome.
Last night they had a documentary screening of the movie Immediate Family, which is about the session musicians. It was the second iteration of the Wrecking Crew. If people who know music know that Glenn Campbell was part of the Wrecking Crew in the 60s. They studio musicians that played on albums, and they're all albums that people grew up listening to, my age.
You loaned me a book on the original Wrecking Crew at one time.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And Leland Sklar was the bass player. And he was there with Lyle last night. He has played with, you name a person. He started with James Taylor. He played on the Carole King Tapestry album. He played with Jackson Browne and toured with him, Running on Empty. He played with Stevie Nicks. He played with Dean Martin, for gosh sakes. I mean, this guy has played with every significant musician in the last 40 years. He is a legend on the bass.
He's seen the world.
He has literally seen the world. And he talked about that in the documentary. He said, hey, I grew up in California, and occasionally we might go to San Francisco or San Diego, but that was my world. When this started, I got to tour the world. And it was it's so cool to see these session musicians, and he is one of them, because they're still doing it. Lou, he just got finished with Reba McEntire's new album in Nashville. I mean, this guy has played with everybody. And the documentary called Immediate Family, I highly recommend it. And the reason Lyle is there and with him is because for 35 years, 40 years, he has played and toured with Lyle's large band. And Leland has played here several times in College Station with Lyle and the large band. And he said, when Lyle called and wanted me to do this, I was so excited to do it. And then he talked about his schedule last night. They had a Q&A afterward. And it's like, he is still playing almost every day. That's how in demand he is. And Chuck Anley is a producer-engineer who produced Lyle's latest album, the 12th of June, which is just phenomenal. And a couple of others. He produced Lyle and his large band, which was, I think, the third one Lyle ever did. This guy's been in the business forever. He took questions, and some of them from students who were interested in doing what he does, and that was kind of the purpose. Although there were a lot of old people like me there last night, but it was a fabulous event, and it was really cool.
Sounds like an amazing.
Got to visit just a little bit with Lyle before the thing, and it was so weird because I knew I was going, and he hadn't been around here in a while, right? He hadn't played in Texas in a while, which is pretty unusual. And the reason he hasn't, Lou, he hasn't been playing in a while because he's been doing this fellowship. He's taking this really seriously. He's been on campus 2 to 3 times a week, as I understand it, visiting with students and in classes. And he'll be back on tour soon. And I started looking at his website. He's going to be with the Houston Symphony.
I knew that, yeah.
Well, I got my tickets yesterday. I told him, I said, hey, I'll see you June the 5th because I didn't know you were doing it. I'll see you June the 5th. So it was cool. It was a great event.
Okay, that's pretty awesome. Hey, those students, I hope they know how lucky they are.
I think they do.
I really do.
I think, and he is, and he's just Lyle, but he just said, I'm getting a lot more out of it than they are. I love being with them. I love the questions they ask. And they had some good questions last night, right? Specific things about things they want to do and be part of. So it was a cool deal.
Okay. I needed to know.
I know that's not sports. And
that's life. Look, that's community.
But
that's life.
Yeah, it was cool.
That's just
it was
really awesome.
It was very cool.
I thought about going.
Yeah.
I wish you couldn't afford the ticket.
I wish you would have gone because the movie itself, I can't recommend that highly enough. It's called Immediate Family. It's a documentary of these session musicians, and anybody is part of the documentary. I mean, they talk to Carole King and Jackson Browne and James Taylor and all these people they played with, and Stevie Nicks didn't hesitate to do it. Neil Young was on there. I mean, they because they love these guys because they are so good at what they do. It's amazing.
I'm happy you got to go.
Yeah, me too.
It's just because everything
really glad
you're saying is your universe.
Oh, it was. It was all my universe.
It's your wheelhouse.
I just loved it. Yeah.
Chip, before I let you go, stars.
The greatest time in sports is about to start. There is nothing that compares to the Stanley Cup playoffs in all of sport. It doesn't come close. And people, we say, and you say this, Lou, we talk about it all the time, and people say, I don't watch hockey. And that's fine. I get it, right? But if you like sports, and don't just turn on for 2 minutes. Watch a game and I don't care what game it is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be the Stars. Pick a game like Saturday afternoon or Sunday afternoon when there's nothing on, and watch the full game. And then you come tell me, oh, I just don't get it.
This is gospel.
That's fine. But you watch the Olympics. I know you did. You watch Canada and the U.S. Turn it up by 10. And that's the Stanley Cup. And then you tell me you don't like it. That's fine. Go watch.
Try first.
Go watch softball.
Try first.
But at least watch a game. And again, just pick. It doesn't matter whatever ABC is going to telecast Saturday afternoon or Sunday afternoon. Watch that, and then tell me, oh, I just don't get it. I don't see what you're talking about.
Everything Chip said. I don't want to say ditto, but everything Chip said times 2. It's the greatest playoffs in all of sports. And I promise you could never watched a hockey game in your life, and by the end of it, you'll give the Torbush wow. By the end of it, you're going to be tired.
You will.
You will feel it through your screen.
Ask
TV
Rusty
screen.
Bertson about that tomorrow when he's on.
He can't be on.
Oh, okay.
He's got to do his ministry work.
Okay, we'll ask him next week then, because he's one of the converts. Okay,
Is that how he turned to hockey?
He's a convert.
He's written hockey books. He did the Mikey Moe thing.
He did. His daughter started following the Stars, right? And so he became a hockey guy, and then he watched the playoffs, and he went, okay, I get it. You don't have to be a hockey fan. I'm just telling you. You're a sports person, watch it.
Hockey needs to reevaluate how they do the playoffs because there's no way the Stars should be playing the Wild.
No, it's
it
crazy.
Makes no sense.
It's crazy.
Every year I say this.
It's just what they have to do, Lou, to get, and which they've done to the Western Conference Finals is ridiculous. It is stupid.
For those that don't know, you have the second and third best teams in the West playing each other in the first round. Don't ask me the how. It's one of those flow charts that's a meme, but it happens every year.
It's crazy.
It doesn't make sense. But the second and third best team
and the commissioner's
are
bragging about it. Oh, that just makes for great hot. Well, no, these guys play all year to earn the right to play a team that is not as good as they are in the first round.
I'm not saying this as a Dallas Stars fan because Minnesota does not deserve this either.
They do not.
Neither team deserves what's happening to them in the first round
Stars could be
of
out.
The playoffs.
Stars could be out.
So can Minnesota.
And Minnesota
and they spent how long grinding
all year
the hell that it is to get this in the first round.
It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. But I'm telling you, you'll be rewarded for your time.
Chip, as a Rangers fan, do you have any empathy for the Stars?
For the Astros? No, because we lost 2 relievers last night, Lou.
Relievers. Not your first 3 starters in your rotation.
No, I get it. I know it's crazy. I mean,
and
it's
your
nuts.
all-star shortstop. And your all-star
it's nuts.
reliever is not this year.
They were good enough to cobble together a win against those powerful Rockies last night. They broke that 8-game losing streak.
Because they did not pitch Abreu. If they'd have thrown him in the 9th, it'd be a 9-game losing streak.
Well,
hey, you kicked it. You do. What's the definition of insanity? Guess what? A spot learned. A spot learned. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you got today, Chip?
Steve Denton is on the SEC tennis tournament. Is in town this week.
Does it start today?
Starts today.
Yeah.
And we'll talk to Coach Denton this afternoon. And the people at A&M were shocked that I requested passes to go, but I do like tennis. So that's in town.
Are you sure?
Mallory will be with me, and Scott Clendenin will be with me.
Are you sure? You can, but we don't want to waste time.
Well, they gave me a pass. I can't believe it. They don't usually do stuff for me like that. I even got parking. I'm just like, what in the world is going on here?
Do you know who I am? Why did you give me anything?
No, I don't think they do.
Someone got in trouble later.
It was a mistake. Oh, they're going to get fired over this deal.
We don't give Chip
You
anything.
gave him a parking pass?
He's not with, never mind.
Yeah, he's not with us.
Chip, have a great show.
Thanks, Lou.
When we return, it's our Aggie Baseball Listen In. This is the Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric on the Zone.
You can hear Aggie Baseball online at RadioAggieland.com. RadioAggieland.com.
The Louie Bellina Show inside the Charles Schwab studio. Yes, I am. In uncertain times, Charles Schwab remains invested in their clients by offering personalized guidance and clarity. And it's personalized because we've got Mark Sim right here in College Station. You can get answers to your questions. You can learn more at schwab.com/College Station. Time now to begin our Aggie Baseball Listen In. It begins with Nico Partida. Yard work last night. Went yard.
Nico, what's the camaraderie like with your fellow freshmen, the entire class, between the hitters and the pitchers?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, we have confidence in each other, and we push each other to be the best every day. And our biggest thing is we're not playing for hits, we're not playing for strikeouts, we're playing to win. And when you win, those things will come. So I'm proud of all the guys and how hard they've worked, and better things to come.
When you think of all those guys, the hitters, the pitchers, what do you think you guys can become with the class of 25 over your time at Texas A&M?
Yeah, I mean, we can do anything at this point. I mean, we got a bunch of good pitchers that are doing well. I mean, the hitters are doing well as well. But, I mean, right now, this year, we're trying to get to Omaha, and I feel like that's something we could do in upcoming years as well with this squad.
Before the season began, if someone told you you'd be hitting about 440 through a stretch of SEC play, would you have believed it? What would you have said?
I think I actually talked to my dad about it because he's like, hey, I need you 4. Like, he's always motivated me, and he need you 400. I looked at him, I was like, I'm going to try. And, I'm going to work hard, and I feel like it's achievable, but it's pretty hard. But I mean, looking how I've done the past few days, past few games, I'm really happy with it. Just trying to carry it on.
Is there any point that you kind of go, wait, is this real, or is it just you're believing and you're just rolling with it?
I'm just rolling right now. I feel like I do best when, kind of like what I said earlier, and I'm trying to win rather than trying to play for myself. So, even the at-bat with the homer, I wasn't trying to hit a homer. I was trying to get the guy sac fly in from third, and when I hit it, I thought I just hit a sac fly, and it kept going. But I'm rolling right now. I'm trying to keep it consistent and just keep my days going.
Everybody talks about just staying in the moment and not making it bigger than the situation. But as a young kid, a lot of this is new for you. Yeah. So how do you stay in the moment, stay locked in these spots?
Yeah, early on it was hard. I'm really glad we did the Sam Houston and the TCU in the fall because that really welcomed me into college baseball. But I just look back at it and this is the same guys are practicing all day every week with. And when I look at it like that, when it's just our 9 versus their 9, it's nothing bigger than that and nothing more than that. I feel like that's when we really take a step.
Was there a moment for you where it felt like it just all kind of clicked for you?
Yeah, I feel a little past, or I had kind of like 2 clicks so far. It was like at the end of Penn and Oakland was when it was going good, and then beginning of SEC had a little struggles there, and then I just took a step back, just breathe, and just tried to stay me, and it clicked again, and pretty good right now.
What do you feel like are maybe still some of the finer things that you're trying to improve on as you get into the meat of this schedule?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of defense stuff. A lot of taking balls. My last at bat, like lined out, but I wasn't happy with it. Could have walked, swung at a 3-1 pitch that wasn't a strike. So things like that. After Vandy, I was a little upset with myself. Got a lot of balls past me that shouldn't get past me. So me and Pennington worked on it, and this past week I've gotten 4 of the same plays and made all of them. So it's just about keeping the small things consistent and routine plays, and keep at bat simple.
There's quite a few upperclassmen or even sophomore like TK that they played a lot as freshmen.
Yeah.
Just what are some of the ways that maybe that's helped you guys and maybe like a mentor mentee kind of role in a way?
Yeah, no, I kind of look at it like great players, performances are great, they carry themselves well, but their mentality and mindset and just maturity is stuff I look at, because everyone here is talented, everyone here can go out and play, and then just the things they say, and just kind of keep it like 0 for 4 days, show up the next day even better, just things like that.
You now have more home runs than a couple of the veteran guys who are pretty good at hitting home runs. Any playful trash talking, any banter or anything with that, or you just kind of keep it yourself?
I mean, Rel's killing me right now, so I can't really talk trash, but no, I mean, mostly about winning right now. Of course, like someone's like, hey, got more homers than you or something, I kind of mess back and forth, but it's all playful, just trying to win. And if Gavin with all those triples, he don't need to hit home runs with those triples. He was moving.
Is the coaching staff still talking with you to take away some stuff, or are they just leaving you the heck alone right now?
I mean, every day improving. So, like last week, my last couple of bats against Texas, I was out front. It's like, hey, it's just small kind of reminders on, not changing anything, but when things start to change, bring it back to how it was. And so, small things with Pennington, like first step movements at third, base running, stuff like that. But it's kind of keeping everything consistently how it should be.
That was Nico Partida after the victory 10-2 over Houston last night. We'll continue our Aggie baseball listening here on the Louie Bellina Show. Here's Jordian Wilson. He was part of that home run derby.
Jordian, what's the camaraderie like and the connection like with your fellow freshmen?
We're very close-knit, I'd say, because during the summer we'd go out there and hit. Like, if it was like after the camp, the kids' camps that are here, we have to hit after that. So we come at like 9 o'clock and we just be in there together, just hitting and just having a good time.
Between the hitters and the pitchers that are both true freshmen, how special could this class be during your time at Texas A&M?
I'd say pretty special if we all just stick together, work hard, because baseball, you can work as hard as you can, and sometimes it just doesn't go your way. So I just say, just go out there, have fun, be close, and just keep grinding.
What's been the biggest challenge for you to continue to have the quality of games that you've had and just be able to string that together throughout this conference and even the midweek games?
Just knowing my coaches have faith in me, I just go out there with confidence. You just always got to have confidence. You can never be down, one pitch at a time, no matter what. Like, even if it's a ball and it's called a strike, you just got to erase it and just keep going.
How did you like your at-bats during the Texas series, and was it good to kind of see the fruit of some of that work pay off to that?
Yeah, I'd say the Texas games, you know, they have a good pitching staff, so I'm not going to take any credit away from them, but, you know, just being able to just, like, watch it and just go out there, have fun, trust the process and trust what you've been practicing and just go out there and try to do it your best.
I know you hit the home run, but Coach said he was most impressed with the double down the line. What does that kind of comment from your skipper mean to you?
You know, we've been working hard on just staying on pitches, especially the other way on lefty-lefty. So I think to be able to see the hard work show on the field, you know, it's a great feeling. Just being able to go out there and have fun and, you know, help my team win a baseball game. So.
When you step into the box in those like high RBI situations, do you think about it situationally, or do you just like trust your swing?
I kind of just, how can I say this? I kind of just like, I think about my team, like just being able to like do something to where you can get it to the next guy. So either if that's a walk, hit, just battling up there, you know. I just try my best to get it to the next guy, and whatever happens, happens.
That was Jordian Wilson. Before that was Nico Partida. We will wrap up our Aggie baseball listen-in with the head coach, Michael Earley. What did he think of the 10-2 dub over the University of Houston?
Coach, you've been around some really talented freshman classes over your time in college coaching. Where does this one rank, and what do they do that continues to impress you and continues to warrant different guys being in the lineup each night and then also getting time on the mound?
Yeah, I mean, up there. I think up there from a complete standpoint when you add the pitchers in. So really, really good. I think a lot of them played high-level baseball and were real talented. I mean, it was tough getting all those guys to school. I mean, we had a really good class, and we lost some, but we built a really good class, and we got some guys in here that were able to make, contribute right away. And you got to see Luke Billings tonight for the first time. He's a really good player. He can hit too. So nice seeing him out there. Nico had an awesome night. Jordian had an awesome night. So yeah, I mean, they're good. They're physical, and they think they belong. And I think that's the biggest thing.
Good to see Jordian bounce back from a little bit of a two-game skid there.
Yeah, I didn't think his games were, that bad. To be honest with you, I think he had some tough at bats. I'm not gonna go back into last game, but I thought he was fine, right? Just tough at bats, but yeah, good. I mean, he didn't get hits, but it's nice for him to get hits. Makes his confidence good. So obviously, yeah, it was good, and then the homer was great. But I was super impressed by the ball he hit down left field line, and he had a really good battle in some of his at bats.
Do you think the prep ranks are starting to produce more college-ready kids, or is this just a really special group?
No, it's for sure. It's all a combination of the draft, a little bit of NIL, and the statistics show if you go to college, your chances of being a major leaguer, especially in this conference, are significantly higher. There's always those kids that are outliers, huge, but shrinking the draft to 20, I think with the resources and the development you get in college, obviously the pros do a good job too, but if you just look at the pure statistics of it, all these kids have advisors and they know that. So yeah, for sure. I think college baseball's in a really, really good spot because you're getting more really good players to school.
What was it about tonight that it was a good night to get Billings and Bond out there for the first time, and just kind of their progression to this point, finally getting to make appearances on the mound?
Yeah, we think they can help us, and they've been out. They weren't pitching because they weren't. They were just pitching because they weren't pitching because they were injured. So yeah, they were pitching tonight, and I think we put them in a good spot, and that's exactly when we wanted to use them. It kind of, minus the first inning, like everything kind of worked out how we mapped it out, which that's not always the case, especially on Tuesday. So really happy for them. Super happy for Hunter. He's really, really worked his tail off, man, to get to that point. So I was really proud of him and Luke.
I know there's still a lot of baseball to be played till the postseason, but how much are these games kind of test drives for who could be that fourth starter? Once you get in the postseason, you kind of need those four starting arms.
Yeah, I can't even wrap my mind around that. But every time you pitch, every time you play, it's an opportunity and an evaluation, right? So you're just stacking, trying to build equity for yourself and the program and the team. So more so just about how can you help us in our next game and our next series. We have a really, really long way to go.
First time I got to talk to you since Sunday. Just what was kind of the discussions like throughout the day? You guys trying to figure out if you could play or not, and just was everybody on the same page with how everything?
Yeah, everything. Us, me and Jim, complete same page. Like we wanted to play, and if there was no curfew, we'd have been here till 4 o'clock in the morning. But it just got to the point where we got our players hot in the morning, or for the game, shut them down for a while, got them hot again, shut them down. Weston's about to throw his first pitch, lightning. It just wasn't it got to the point where you start worrying about injuries and things like that. But I guess that decision didn't really matter because lightning struck at 9:45 and we wouldn't have been able to play anyway. But I was completely comfortable in there. I don't watch golf, but a lot of the guys were watching golf, and I was just hanging out, packed it in. Just curfew's a curfew. Unfortunate how the weather played out. Not to go too much detail of it, but it just, you evaluate it through the week, and we all saw Sunday it looked like there was some definite windows, and Mother Nature had other plans.
Anything else?
That was Michael Earley. Before him was Jordian Wilson, and our entire Aggie baseball listen-in began with Nico Partida. Our Aggie baseball listen-in here on the Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric. They, CC Electric, do residential, commercial, and industrial services. Check it out for yourself at CC Electric. When we return, bye-bye. We're done with our first hour together here on the Louie Bellina Show, Wednesday on The Zone.
Be in the know about the Louie Bellina Show.
In the morning, you are awakened by the twitter of a little bird.
Follow at LouieB1150. That's at LouieB1150.
Follow us on Twitter.
The Louie Bellina Show. In our final hour, 12:15-ish, Trisha Ford, A&M softball head coach, will listen in 12:35, our monthly beer recommendations, and that is with Alan Ward of Brigadoon Brewery on the D4 Land Services hotline. And at 12:50, end of the lunch hour, the ticket booth will open thanks to Dixie Tire Company. So that's all still to come. I wanted to kind of wrap up lifestyles portion of the Louie Bellina Show. This scary. We know if you own a pet, I would say, 8.5 out of 10 people. I mean, you love the pet. People love their pets. I worked with Long Way Home Adoptables forever. Now it's Aggieland Humane Society, and people love their pets, but there was a new study that said the average pet owner spends $4,272 a year on their dog or cat. We know the cost of everything in the world has went up, but yes, that includes the cost of owning a pet. So doing math, that means that you will pay close to $50,000 over the course of that pet's life. I mean, that's a lot of love. $4,272 a year for one pet. And over a 12-year lifespan of the pet, you're going to spend about $50K to own a dog or a cat now. And that's a lot of love. Did you know that vet costs have jumped 43% in the last 5 years alone, period? 37% of pet owners are in debt now because of their animals, and Gen Z have been hit the hardest. 46% of them are debating a petless lifestyle. I'll be right back.